Have you ever wondered why some of the smartest people never succeed? They ace their exams, impress teachers, and are praised by everyone around them. Yet when life begins, when real challenges appear, suddenly their intelligence doesn't seem to help them anymore. You see them sitting in job interviews, unable to answer simple practical questions. You see them struggling to take action, hesitating to start, fearing failure, and waiting for opportunities that never come. Because intelligence alone is not enough. Being smart is only the beginning. Without discipline, without effort, without consistency, even the brightest mind can become stuck. As the scene shifts from exam papers to unanswered job calls to an empty workshop, one question fills the air. If smart people are so capable, then why do they fail? In a quiet village surrounded by fields and old wooden homes lived a boy named Ethan, the one everyone called the smartest kid around. From childhood, he could solve puzzles in minutes, answer questions no one else understood, and memorize entire lessons without effort. Villagers often smiled proudly and said, "This boy will go far. He is destined for greatness." Ethan enjoyed the praise. He believed it too. He thought being naturally gifted meant his future was guaranteed. His father, a humble carpenter, would watch him with gentle eyes and offer one piece of advice again and again. Being smart is good, son, but being consistent is better. But Ethan would laugh lightly, brushing off the words. He believed intelligence alone was enough. After all, he was the smartest. Wasn't that all he needed? Little did he know, life was quietly preparing a lesson he would never forget. Years passed, and Ethan grew older, carrying the same confidence he had as a child. He finished school with excellent marks, earning the admiration of teachers and villagers alike. Everyone believed he would land a great job easily. Everyone, including Ethan himself. But when he finally stepped into the real world, the praise faded. Interviews piled up, and so did the rejections. The questions were no longer from textbooks. They required experience, skill, patience, and discipline, things Ethan had never practiced. He would sit in front of employers, sharp-minded but empty-handed, unable to show any real-world ability. His intelligence couldn't hide the fact that he had never learned how to work with his hands, solve problems through action, or stay committed to a task. Day after day, Ethan walked home defeated. He looked at his father's workshop, filled with tools, wood, and half-finished projects, and realized that despite all his intelligence, he had no skills at all. For the first time in his life, the smartest boy in the village felt completely lost. One evening, after yet another disappointing interview, Ethan wandered to the edge of the village. His mind raced with frustration, confusion, and a growing sense of helplessness. As he walked aimlessly, he noticed an old man sitting beneath a large neem tree, feeding birds with a gentle smile on his face. Something about the old man's calmness drew Ethan toward him. Without saying a word, he sat down beside him. For a while, they both watched the birds flutter and peck at the grains. Finally, the old man spoke softly, as if he already knew the storm inside Ethan's heart. "You look troubled, son. What weighs so heavily on your mind?" Ethan sighed, feeling the emotions he had hidden for so long rise to the surface. "Everyone says I'm smart, but nothing in my life is working. I can't find a job. I don't know what to do. I feel like a failure." The old man listened carefully, then smiled knowingly. "You think intelligence is a ladder," he said gently. "But sometimes intelligence becomes a cage. You have been climbing with your mind, but never with your hands." Ethan looked at him, puzzled and curious. The old man reached into a small bag beside him and said, "Let me show you something. Something your intelligence has not yet learned." The old man slowly opened the small cloth bag beside him. Inside, he held two simple objects, a shiny metal spoon and a tiny brown seed. He placed them gently on the ground between them. "Look at these," he said softly. "This spoon is strong, polished, and perfect. The seed, small, weak, ordinary." Ethan nodded, unsure where this was going. The old man continued, "If I bury the spoon in the soil for a year, nothing will change. It will stay the same, shiny but lifeless. But if I bury this tiny seed, it will crack, struggle, grow roots, and rise toward the sun. It will become a plant and eventually a tree." He looked directly into Ethan's eyes. "You, my boy, have spent your life polishing your spoon, but you have never planted your seed." Ethan stared at the objects, stunned by the simplicity of the lesson. "You have intelligence," the old man said, "but you have not allowed yourself to grow. You avoided hard work. You feared starting small. You waited for opportunities to come, instead of planting the seeds that create them." For the first time, Ethan felt his heart crack open like the seed itself, realizing how much he had wasted by relying only on the shine of his mind. The old man picked up the spoon and held it in his palm. "This spoon," he said, "is like your intelligence. Strong, sharp, impressive, but unmoving. It will always remain what it is, unless you put it to work." Then he lifted the seed. "But this seed, this is effort, discipline, consistency. It begins small and weak. It cracks before it grows. It struggles before it rises. But in the end, it becomes something the spoon can never be: alive, growing, and full of possibility." Ethan lowered his eyes, realizing the truth in every word. He had polished his intelligence but never applied it. He avoided challenges, feared failure, and waited for success to find him, not knowing that success comes only to those who act. "You think being smart is enough?" the old man continued gently. "But listen carefully. Intelligence may open a door, but discipline is what walks you through it. Many smart people fail because they refuse to start small. They refuse to grow slowly. They want the tree without planting the seed." A quiet wind passed through the trees as Ethan sat there, absorbing the lesson. His clever mind had always been his pride, yet today it felt like his biggest obstacle. He finally whispered, "What should I do?" The old man smiled. "Plant yourself. Work. Learn. Grow. Be patient. Even the smartest seed needs time to become a tree." Ethan walked home that evening with the seed and spoon still vivid in his mind. For the first time, he felt a quiet determination growing inside him, a feeling he had never experienced before. As he stepped into his father's workshop, he looked at the tools, the wood shavings on the floor, the unfinished chairs, and realized how much life he had avoided. The next morning, Ethan made a decision. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more pretending intelligence alone was enough. He approached his father and said, "Teach me. I want to learn." His father looked at him with surprise and then with pride. And so, Ethan began his apprenticeship. It wasn't easy. His hands fumbled. His cuts were crooked. His measurements were wrong. The tools felt heavy. His back ached. And for someone used to getting everything right on the first try, the struggle was humbling. But he kept showing up, day after day, even when he was tired, even when he failed, even when his mind whispered, "You're too smart for this work." He ignored the voice and kept going. Slowly, something inside him shifted. He began to appreciate the feel of the wood, the rhythm of the tools, the satisfaction of finishing a piece with his own two hands. His intelligence helped him learn faster, but it was his discipline that kept him moving forward. For the first time in his life, Ethan wasn't just smart, he was growing. Weeks turned into months, and slowly, Ethan's efforts began to bloom. His cuts grew straighter, his measurements more precise. The furniture he crafted started to look sturdy, polished, and full of life. Each piece carried something he never felt before, pride born not from intelligence, but from effort. Word began to spread through the village. Ethan made this chair. He repaired my table perfectly. His work is getting better every day. People who once praised him only for being smart now admired him for something deeper: his skill, his patience, his willingness to grow. Customers came more frequently. Some even asked for custom pieces. Ethan found himself excited to wake up each morning, eager to shape the wood and sharpen his craft. And every time he completed a new piece, he remembered the seed, the tiny, humble beginning that had now grown into something strong. One day, as he watched a villager walk away carrying a chair he had made with his own hands, Ethan realized something powerful. Success had never been waiting for him. It had been waiting for him to begin. That he was no longer the boy who relied on his intelligence alone. He was becoming someone new. Someone who understood that growth happens not in the mind, but in the daily effort of your hands, heart, and discipline. As Ethan stood in the doorway of the workshop one evening, the sunset casting warm light over the tools and wooden pieces inside, he finally understood the meaning of the wise old man's lesson. Intelligence, he realized, was a gift, but it was not a guarantee. A sharp mind could open possibilities, but only consistent effort could turn those possibilities into reality. He looked down at his hands, no longer soft or inexperienced. They were strong now, skilled, marked by the mistakes, cuts, and lessons that had shaped him. These hands had built something intelligence never could: discipline, patience, and purpose. The seed had grown, not because it was smart, but because it chose the soil, the struggle, and the sunlight. And so Ethan learned the truth that many people never discover. Being smart is good, but showing up every day, that is what makes you successful. Your life will not change because of what you know. It will change because of what you do. Don't just polish your spoon, plant your seed. Start small, grow slowly, and rise steadily. Because success doesn't belong to the smartest. It belongs to the most consistent. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe for more wisdom-filled tales that help you grow.